was like
Wait, you
David
finish
after
stretching?
dentist.
Yeah, something's going on. What is happening with you? You're a mess.
Are you ready? Let's
Yeah,
start.
I was born ready. All right, we're back with another quick list, and this week I'm going to be throwing it to Thomas. And Thomas, I want you to tell me, and Andrew, and the people back home, movies that you would like to watch again for the first time. So we're going to do a little media one.
This is I decided to do a new approach this one since it's a quick list. I have to pee, so that will make me do this quickly.
Okay.
Um, Not planned. So I really wasn't sure what to go with this one when you asked me a little earlier. Yeah, movie magic. You asked me earlier. Now I'm doing it. I wasn't sure if I should go with like movies I love the most that I would just like I do enjoy watching again, or movies that like now when I watch them I see the twist coming, so it's not as enjoyable. Like I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't sure, so I kind of did a mix of both. Um, so I'll get into it. Number one is a movie that I still really enjoy, even though I know the twists and turns of it, and I know the the outcome. It's The Prestige. Uh,
Okay.
Great, just great movie. Hugh Jackman, Christian Bale, and Michael Caine. Couldn't think of his name. Uh, and like I don't want to give it away to anyone who hasn't seen it. I mean, you should see it. It's getting pretty old at this point, but like knowing the twist at the end doesn't ruin the movie for me. But to watch it again for the first time and not know it's coming would be a great feeling.
Yeah, and I actually that's a great pick because a lot of times you have these movies that are built up based on a twist, and it'd be really cool to watch it again for the first time because the first time you watch it, it is super interesting and cool throughout, and the twist comes, and you're like, okay, I've seen this enough times. I don't ever need to see it again. The Prestige is a fantastic movie with or without the twist. The twist just magnifies how good of a movie it is, and I mean, it's for my money, honestly, and it might be a hot take. Christopher Nolan's best. It's my favorite Nolan movie.
Hmm. I don't think it's my favorite Nolan movie, but I do like it. I've only seen it once, so I the only time I watched it was the first time I watched it.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know if
definitely
that's a good
worth
thing
a
or a bad thing.
rewatch because you'll notice things on the rewatch that you didn't see the first time.
I excluding The Dark Knight, it's my favorite Nolan movie. Like excluding the Batman trilogy,
Sure.
it's
Yeah,
I'd say it's my favorite Nolan movie. But The Dark Knight for me would still beat it out.
yeah.
It's
Probably
that and
with the trilogy,
Interstellar for
probably
me.
my second.
Interstellar is my number
Yeah, I
two.
know you're not
I
putting
know a
Dark Knight
lot of
Rises
people.
ahead of The Prestige.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have their beef with Interstellar, but I
Anyway,
love it.
yeah. So my number two is different. My number two is a movie that it's not real big. I found it in college and I ended up writing a paper about it, and I just love the movie. And like I watch it probably twice a year, typically. I mean, since college, at least once a year, usually twice, like spread out. But to watch it again, like it's one of those movies that I just really enjoy. So watching it for the first time, I imagine would feel even better than rewatching it now, even though I still enjoy it. That's Stuck in Love with Greg Kinnear, uh, Nat Wolf, Christian Bell's in it briefly, and I love her. So it's kind of like an independent movie. I don't know if
Hmm.
either of you have
Hmm.
seen it or
I
heard of it.
don't. I don't know
No, I was
anything
just
about it.
googling it.
It sounds like
Yeah.
a mid 2000s romantic comedy, but considering you like it as much as you're saying you like it, I'm guessing it's probably like it elevates the genre a little bit instead of just being every standard romantic comedy.
Yeah, not romantic comedy. I mean, there's it's 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 more real to me. And like the comedy in it is more realistic than you get from a romantic comedy. And like the thing I love about it most is like how real the characters do feel. So it's one of those movies that, like I said, like it's one of my like you if you desert island movies, it'd be on the list. And it's really probably not even like technically that great a film, but it's just one of the ones that, like I just enjoy it.
Is this like
If
a movie? Like the reasoning for making this list is it because it's one of those movies that like you forget you're watching a movie at like a few minutes into it?
Yeah, yeah. It's I'm not always good at watching stuff again and again, like movie wise. Like going back to movies is kind of hard for me sometimes. Not for this.
If you had to ballpark it,
No.
how much of the movie would you say Kristen Bell is in?
Uh, 4 or 5 scenes,
No, that's. I thought you were gonna say
maybe.
like 2 minutes. That's more than enough for me to check it out. I love Kristen Bell. I think
Gosh,
she is
she probably
hugely
gets like a
underrated.
total 10 minutes.
10 minutes,
Yeah, she's
more
great.
than I was
And
expecting.
Greg Kinnear is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um.
The director directed Fault in Our Stars.
Yes. Yeah.
Hmm.
Green Boone. What's his name?
Boone. Boone.
Green's
Josh
the
Boone.
writer of Fault in Our Stars.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, my number 3 goes more with the prestige aspect. It's The Departed.
Oh fuck
Just
yeah.
a phenomenal movie that I
Fuck
love.
yeah.
And again, like to watch it for the first time would be like watching it now, I get excited watching it, and not just for the twist at the end, but like just to watch it. Like it's so good, it's so intense to watch it for the first time. I imagine like legitimately being on the edge of my seat because I don't know what's happening, and it'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, The Departed is one
Yeah.
that
I,
I can't watch that often. Like I've seen it probably 3 times, and I'd love to watch it again for the first
Yeah,
time. That first time you watch it, you're like, it's one of those movies where you actively notice that you are in like not breathing, that you've like inhaled and you're sitting at the
yeah.
edge of your seat and you're like gripping, and then just the way it all plays out at the end, it's like cherry on top. I would, yeah, this is a good pick, Thomas. I love these so far.
it's also one of those movies that like had to be really good to live up to the hype. I feel like with just the cast that it has.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And like, yeah, like Griffin said, like I watch it now. Like I haven't watched it in a little bit, I guess, but that's the thing. Like I can watch it in clips now, and like I'm not upset about it. But like to sit down for the first time and watch it all the way through, yeah, like you'd be on the edge of your seat, catching your breath. Like you'd be so into it. Where now, like because I've seen it so many times, it's like I can I can do what I always do, which I hate, which is like do something else as the movie's going.
I feel like
So,
to
You
your
could
point,
just
Andrew.
recommend movies to people. We should like find the streaming services that all these are on and just put them in our videos so people know.
I'm into it.
To your point, Andrew, with the hype of the cast, I feel like crime movies, like more often than not, just end up having like these crazy ensemble casts, and it's always why they end up being like really really high highs, where it's like a fantastic movie, or the most boring movie on earth. Like you end up having like a Heat, or like a Goodfellas, or something like that, or a Godfather, or you have Takers, which has for its time like an all-star cast, but it's just like a incredibly average, non-memorable movie,
Yeah.
and there's like nothing in between.
So going off that, a movie that 2 movies that didn't make my list, and Ocean's 11, which is just amazing cast. And so I thought about like watching it for the first time would probably be fucking awesome. But like I was like, I like really other than like it's such a good movie. Like I feel like I enjoy it just as much still each time that I don't need it
Yeah.
the first time. And then The Gentleman I thought about for the same reason as The Departed, like because I know what's gonna happen. So I feel like I'm not paying as much attention. But to watch that again for the first time, it was also one of, if not the last movie I saw in theaters before COVID. So like take me back.
Yeah,
But those didn't
Yeah.
make the list. So
you love an ensemble crime drama. I have
I
not
do.
seen The Gentleman yet, which is surprising because I'm like usually the number one Guy Ritchie guy.
Yeah.
But I've heard good things, and I do want to watch it. Just kind of lost track of things because of COVID.
But so going on the actual list, number 2 is Singing in the Rain.
I feel like you were going from the top down. You started like 1, 2, 3, and then now you're back to number 2.
I got it. I got it.
It was also
I'm
it
glad
was
Griffin
like
noticed that too.
here's a few things I really like, and then here's some honorable mentions. And now we're back to my list. Like it wasn't that The Gentleman or Ocean's 11 could have been your number 5 or your number 4 picks. It was that they only could have been your 3 or 2 picks, and otherwise they just weren't going to make the list. Otherwise they had to be honorable mentions.
It's a yeah. I mean, yeah, it's an ensemble cast
Just
list.
a bizarre order to go in.
So number 2, Singing in the Rain, Gene Kelly,
Like
19.
old singing the right. Yeah, Gene
Yeah,
Kelly.
throwback.
Uh, I fucking love this movie. Again, it's something I found in college in one of my classes. Like we watched it. I never seen it. Didn't really care about musicals. fucking love this movie. Just the feeling I get from this movie, and I need to watch it soon. Like the feeling you get from it is just overwhelmingly better than High School Musical, and it's just so enjoyable and it just happy. And like I to watch it, I mean, to watch it for the first time would be just because I remember going in being like expecting it to be another old movie that like I can get through, but I don't really care about, and I fucking love it.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely a feel good movie. I have an uncle who just loves this movie, and if this was a competition week, he'd be voting for you and just not listening to the rest of us.
As all should.
This
Yeah.
that pick is a good example of why I wanted you to do this quick list, because you're the cinephile of the group, and there's no way that movie ever would. And nothing against the movie or anything like that, but I think I would have just gone with a lot more generic picks. That's a pick that I never would have expected, and it's a great addition to the list.
I'm glad you said that before my number one, which goes against everything you just said, and is Hot Rod.
That's still a great pick. That's a great pick.
I
Because
just-
you could still like. I mean, obviously, our group loves Hot Rod. You're not going to get any hate here.
It's just such a, again, like singing like such a warm feeling from the movie because it's such a bad, dumb comedy. And I don't mean bad like as in bad movie, just like it's a bad comedy. Like it's just like it's dumb, but it's fucking hilarious and it's a good time and it's nothing but fun. And like I still watch it and fucking love it. But to watch it for the first time, like to go in and not know how much you're gonna laugh would be fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's one of those dumb movies where like some of the dialogue and just scenes just take turns and they're just so random that not knowing what was going to come would, oh man, yeah, you're right. I would pay for that
Right?
feeling.
Yeah.
It's funny that you have Hot Rod as your number one, because in my mind, Andy Samberg is not like an incredibly prolific actor. Like he's obviously very famous and he's very well known, and he's done TV, he's done sketch comedy, he's done movies, but he doesn't come up as like one of the great comedic actors. But if I were to be making this list, Palm Springs likely would have made my list of movies I'd like to watch again for the first time. There's something about that movie, and we talked about it way back at the beginning of when we started doing list night. We talked about it as a potential inclusion on the non-traditional Christmas movies. I said that it's one that I want to watch on Christmas because there's just so much like heart in that movie, and I think that's something Andy Samberg in general is just really good at. His movies have a lot of character to them, and yeah, Hot Rod is a fucking dynamite comedy. And anyone that says otherwise needs to learn how to fucking shut their brain off for a little bit and just enjoy
Like,
stupid comedy.
yeah, like I'm not gonna sit here and defend Hot Rod. Like I find it absolutely hilarious.
It's
Like
idiotic.
you can
It's
call it,
so dumb, but
yeah,
it's
you can
so
call it
good.
lowbrow or whatever. But like it's so funny. And like I said, like to sit down, turn it on, and just be like, oh, here's a comedy, and not know how much laughter I'm gonna get out of it. That'd be amazing. That'd be amazing.
Just imagine rewatching the montage scene, the "You're the Voice" song scene where they're all walking
Where the
Yeah.
riot
Oh my-
happens.
before it just, yeah.
My heart
I've
races. That
I've-
happens now.
watched that with people who are watching Hot Rod for the first time, and it's one of those scenes where you want to just like watch them the entire time because you know when shit's about to pop off, and it's just like it's a fun scene. Oh my god, it comes out of fucking nowhere. What a scene.
Yeah.
What a movie.
It is a movie that like I know, like I've shown it to people, or I've talked about it with people, and like they don't like it. And there's some movies where I'm like, how could you not? And this one, I'm like, I don't even care if you don't like it because I love it so much for both of us, so it doesn't matter.
You're gonna sit there while I enjoy this for the 1000th time.
We're gonna
Exactly.
watch this movie. Give us your top 5 to 7 again. I want to make sure your honorable mentions come in the middle again. Make sure you do it in the order that you gave it.
The five,
Yeah. What was letter C?
5 was The Prestige. 4 was Stuck in Love. 3 was The Departed. Honorable mentions were Ocean's 11 and The Gentleman. uh, 2 was Singing in the Rain, and 1 is Hot Rod.
All right.
Nice.
Good set
Yeah.
of movies.
I like that list a lot.
That's my quick list.
Yeah, I too would like to see those again for the most of those again for the first time, and maybe we'll expand this at some point and do a full pod on it. But thanks for doing the quick list, Tom. Good stuff. Yeah.